y'all, and welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be doing a very requested review, a review that I am very excited to be filming. And we're going to be going over the new Tati Westbrook expansion of her line. She's got Halo Beauty, which is dem vitamins, and she came out with her first eyeshadow palette in Tati Beauty Volume 1, so we all know this is going to be a continuous thing. And I must admit, first off, initially when I saw this palette, I was kind of like, you know, I mean, you guys all know that when it comes to like more neutrals and more safe colors, I got my tried and true, so I'm typically not investing more in those color theories. But what really intrigued me, and this is I think it's like the textured eyeshadow palette or something along those lines. And what really intrigued me was the fact that you have these monochromatic rows here going on, and they each have 4 different sets of textures, formulas, whatever you want to call them. She's got matte, sequin, metallic, and glitter. Y'all know how I feel about pressed glitters. And then each row is just its own thing going on. We've got Poet, Aura, Soothe, Story, Ritual, and Memory. I was just really intrigued and drawn into the whole just like formatting of this palette. I thought even though the colors were something that we've already seen, it was something, you know, a unique way to arrange them, and the whole concept of having the different whatevers. I thought that gave this palette a lot more versatility than if we just had like a majority of mattes and a majority of shimmers, instead having each collective row all in the exact same color, story, familyness. This is $48, which I honestly think is a good typical price, especially for like a first release, establishing your brand. I mean, when Huda came out with hers and she was like $65. Considering the size and the reputation that Tati has, I think the $48 is a fantastic price point for the amount of product you get. The componentry is really nice. I pulled it out. It's very heavy. It's got a nice big giant mirror going in on there. And this palette is also, I feel like I often rag on a lot of brands for being like, oh, neutral, not exciting or whatever, because my color loving heart just, you know, pink, blue, purple, green, yellow, puce, you know, those are the songs of my people. But this is very evocative of Tati's image. You know, she reviews a lot of products and different things like that, but kind of her typical go-to aesthetic is that very soft, delicate glam, you know, sometimes smoked out, a little bit more neutral, very sophisticated. And so when you're looking at this, especially from a point of like establishing yourself as a brand, establishing an aesthetic, what kind of products you're going to sell, I could honestly look at this and appreciate it and see what Tati was trying to do. And you really could see, you know, her reflected in just the composition of this. It's what I'm wearing on my peepers today, ever so obviously. Super simple. I set my lid with the bottom matte Aura shade, and then I just went to town on this sequin shade from the Poet line. Then I used the metallic one from the Aura as well, and I did. I tapped into the Aura glitter, and I have to say, for someone, y'all know my thoughts on dem pressed glitters. The Huda Beauty ones, the ColourPop ones, it doesn't matter who you are, I don't like them. These are like the nicest pressed glitters I've ever used, because they're like, you know, typically you go in with a pressed glitter and you glitter glue and all that jazz to make it whatever. This was without that inner corner. I didn't set nothing down there, and I was very impressed with how well they played with other shadows and went over shadows, so that's something in and of itself. But let us go on into swatching this thing. I'm gonna go each color theory, story, row. I'm honestly probably going to be regretting this later because I'm going to have glitter all over me. So we are going to start with the Memory one right here. The mattes feel very, very nice. Then we have the sequin. Now, I will say I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. But basically what the sequin shades are, I don't know if you can you see kind of that like sparkle going on in them? They're basically a matte that's got, you know, shimmy shiny glitter in it. Then we have the metallic, but if you have been on my channel for any amount of time, you know what happens to these matte shades with the glitter in it. Here we have right there, that black is absolutely beautiful. Same with this one. It is so smooth and beautiful. Like the matte formula is a very soft and blendable and pigmented. Here is the metallic. I was not the biggest fan of this metallic here. I felt like compared to, say, basically all the other ones, it was a bit more chunky, a little less intense, and a little bit drier and not as easy to work with. Then we'll go on in the glitter. I mean, look at how much you get on there. Usually with glitters, I'm just gonna put it on there like that. That like first deposit, what I love about it is you'll get it on your brush, and then even when you use like a brush, usually I do tapping, but even if you do a stroking motion, the majority of that first bit there stays. Then moving on to Ritual, second verse, same as the first. These mattes are beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous. They are a pleasure to work with. These shimmers are like the best of the Anastasia Beverly Hills shimmer formula with a little bit of, I want to say like Melt Cosmetics maybe? I'm not sure. I mean, when you swatch them, they go on so smooth. Have that here. Looking nicey nice. See how it's just like so opaque, like it's glitter, like it's like a creamy eyeshadow with glitter in it rather than it just being like glitter suspended in like a Vaseline type holding material. Next up is Story, which I was really tempted to use that today. I made a really nice look with it when I first got this, and I was like, no, let's try something a little bit different. And then this one, those are absolutely, and this, it's like all things orange, but like a little bit peachy. Going on here. You see, so pretty. And then the glitter right here. All things pumpkin spice. Oh, honey. See, I mean, I have never swatched a pressed glitter or a glitter shade that is swatched that good. Usually you just get a little fairy fart of glitter running across your hand. Next up is Soothe right here. I mean, this is probably one of my new favorite matte formulas. It's just so nice. Y'all know I live my life by the matte formulas and this. That shimmer. But when I find a new matte formula that is fantastic, you know I go all in. I mean, that shimmer metallic, sorry, whatever it's called, is all kinds of good gorgeousness. And this glitter is probably my third favorite one. My first favorite one is definitely this one that I used today. I think that it's just very unique, but I mean, I swatch them and they make me so happy inside, because as someone who loves glitter, sometimes working with glitter is not an enjoyable experience. I mean, it's like a glitter pigment rather than just like glitter. Now, I didn't watch her video talking about these, so I don't know her explanations on the formula. I like my first impressions to be very first. Then Aura, which is just a very simple, I mean, that it's probably the least pigmented and the least impressive, but it's not a very interesting color in my story, my name, idea, mind. And then this one right here, which had so much potential. Like, can you see like the shiny reflecties? And this shimmer is beautiful. I mean, this is your perfect champagne-y white gold whateverness. I mean, then that one, which is a little something more. And then the shimmer right Oh, it's not doing justice in that swatch. Probably because it's blending into my pasty skin. And then this glitter, this I love this. I did not think there would ever become a time where I would say that I loved a glitter shade. But it's just so nice. It's so pretty, so nice. Where am I gonna put that? It deserves a spot of its own. Can you even? Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that. It's just so pretty. It's got like pinky, rose goldy reflectiveness. Like I was expecting it to be the sparsest little whatever, but it does not disappoint. And then last but not least, probably the most exciting row, or the most like unconventional, is Poet. And I love this row. The sad thing is, no, let me swatch, then we'll talk about the sad thing. All right, so the matte, heckin' pigmented, blended beautifully. Love this thing. Same with this one here, the sequin one, and it has the most beautiful purpley blue shininess. Like, if you're a fellow magpie like I am, I mean, this palette is all things great and good. And the metallic is butter. You ready for this, y'all? Ready for this? Boom. 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 Those are okay, I guess. The swatches don't do nearly as good as I was hoping, but I love this row. And then that glitter is so pretty. Oh my God. I don't typically get into like holiday Christmas makeup because y'all know my time is Halloween, but I am gonna have some plans for that. Not sure what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm gonna do something. Okay. So obviously, right off the bat, probably the most surprising, happy surprise, unexpected, happy ending, happy accident would be the glitter shades. Because you all know in every palette I talk about, in every palette I review that has a pressed glitter, they are the bane of my existence. You all know I hate them. I hate them. They're patchy, they're little whatever, they're either Vaseline-y, you don't get a lot, they're hard to work with. These are the easiest, best glitters I have ever worked with in my life. And I feel like that's because with a lot of pressed glitters, they're literally taking just like glitter bits, whatever, and they're like, let's press it down on in into a little bit of Vaseline. And so you're getting a lot of that, you know, Vaseline-y stuff and a little bit of glitter, whereas this is like I said, it's like a pigment, but it's made out of glitter, shimmery, shiny goodness. So that is definitely a new experience for me. The shimmers, metallics, sorry, whatever she calls these, absolutely gorgeous. The only one that I'm not the biggest fan of is this black one right here, just because it's a little less smooth, and a little more chunky, and a little more kind of lesser in the pigmentation saturation, but all the other ones are absolute dreams. This one, I mean, just the black, whatever, but right here. The mattes, fantastic. They are beautiful, creamy, pigmented, they blended well, they played well with each other. And each of the mattes that I've used worked really well with this one, just as kind of a setting shade, and then the other ones went really well over top of it. The black blends out beautifully into the reddy, mauvey, whateverness this is. Fantastic crease shade, blended, just all, nothing bad to say about that. But part of my problem with the whole sequin going on here. So when I did this look today, I did Aura, and then I just started with the sequin shade from Poet. And you can kind of see a hint of something, but for the majority of it, it gets lost when you're blending. You know, I'm not sure, like I said, I didn't watch her video. Maybe she told us how to keep the shimmy shiny in the matte. But I feel like, you know, as I was blending and patting, a lot of that like sequin effect just kind of fell off. It didn't fall off like all around my face. That was very nice. It just kind of disappeared into the atmosphere. So like I said, I feel like the whole like selling point, although I must admit, the sequin in the black one, that one retains a lot more of that little sparkly whatever effect than these ones, because I feel like it's formulated more as like a shimmer with a little bit of sparkle in it, whereas these other ones are true mattes with just shimmer, glitter, sparkle shot all through it. So that is a little bit kind of disappointing, because I feel like the whole selling point of this second row is that whole sequin thing. But from a quality standpoint, other than that, I'm not mad at this at all. I got it because several of y'all wanted to review it. I was super interested. It's cruelty free. And I'm honestly quite surprised with how much I ended up liking it. Yes, the colors aren't revolutionary. They're very representative of what Tati's aesthetic is. They work wonderfully together. This is one of the palettes that I'm going to contemplate bringing when I go to my brother's wedding for what I'm going to do my mother's makeup with, because these shades are just so easy to work with. I would say that this would honestly be a fantastic beginner palette. Even the glitters, that's glitter isn't necessarily a beginner thing, but if you're gonna do glitter, it might as well be this one. Someone who wants very minimalistic, softer, but like I said, very glam and very sophisticated. And you can smoke it out and, really zhuzh it up a bit. I'm just so happy with how wonderful this formula is. The only thing I don't like, aside from the sequin shades being a little is this packaging is the like Lorac Pro NARS kind of like get fingerprints all over it, never gonna get clean. But for $48 and for shadows that are as beautiful and as nice as these, I can deal with a little bit of dirty packaging. I would say if you're interested in trying this formula, I think this would be a great palette to look into. It's $48. It's a high-end price, but it's not a ungodly high-end price. And I just absolutely, like I said, I got it and I was like, okay, whatever, the colors are kind of whatever, but the formula, when you have got boring colors, but you have a formula to back up those colors, I'm just all over it. And the colors aren't boring. I'm sorry for keep saying boring. It's just, it's something that's very simple, but with the way she's laid it out and presented it, it makes it very wearable, very user-friendly, very accessible and very eclectic. I think this is absolutely fantastic. And if she's coming out with more palettes that are gonna have this formula, I'd say do something about this one, because sometimes the sparkle stays, sometimes it doesn't. There is a bit of tonal difference, so you are getting different shades. But if she comes out with more palettes with this formula, I will definitely be purchasing and reviewing those on my channel. Alright, y'all, so we have that review. In all honesty, it's funny. Well, I've been doing a lot of reviews, but it's funny because I got we did the Huda Beauty nude minis and I expected to love those and I kind of didn't, and I got this and I'm not sure what I was expecting, but I really, really love it. So it's kind of funny how that works out sometimes. Obviously, let me know what y'all are thinking about this palette. You have it, you don't, you hate it, if you think I'm off my rocker. I always love hearing y'all's thoughts and experiences down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!